Namaste, Vaikasa. So I'm here now in beautiful Goa. And today I'm going to look at a Kardik sword. So this is the Kardik sword. It's a beautiful sword. It can come out very quickly because of the peculiar design of the sword. It's got a gentle curve, and of course the scabbard itself, if you can look close quarter here, is slit, allowing for quick draws and so on. So the sword can be very good and very quick. Not quick as a katti, but still beautiful like. So this sword from Bikaner, armory and so on. One thing distinguishing the sword is this extra long pipla, which is like the back cut, which is one span and about 4 fingers on. So you've got a nice beautiful edge here, nice edge here, allows for double edges, double cuts with both edges, and for pulling back and reverse cuts you can do this. So this sword is known as Kardik. Now Kardik literally means a rhino. So just like a rhino, I mean rhinos don't have very good eyesight, but they're known to charge everything as a consequence. So this Kardik is a very forward advancing kind of sword and so on. So when we engage and so on, we move in a way that we're constantly advancing, cutting, thrusting and so on. Now one thing about Indian swordsmanship, especially Shastra Vidya peculiar, is that we don't take a entrenched position and then strike to cut and so on. When we deliver a cut, it's with the whole body moving at the same time. So where this cut is a draw cut, or a push cut, or a drive-through cut, a reverse cut and so on, or a hacking cut and so on, wherever it is, the body has to be constantly repositioning, the body has to be driven through. And again, there's no hip turns, just driving through the shoulders. And of course, in this kind of attacks, I can convert a cut coming in by a simple turn of the shoulder into a thrust. So we integrate the thrust and the cut. So if I'm doing this looks like a typical thrust, but if I just change my shoulders and later on shoulder blades and so on, it comes into a powerful cut. So this powerful cut here, just by taking the shoulder, suddenly dips into a thrust and so on. And because of this peculiar hilt, which is like taken from the Sarohi and so on, again, it's not allowing for any kind of wrist movement. If you're trying to use the wrist with this, you'll do harm yourself. So again, no wrist movement, all from the shoulders, constantly readjusting, constantly repositioning all the time, stepping in and so on. This sword is beautiful, it's light, it moves, something like a katti, very light, fluid movement, but at the same time it's very powerful and strong like a khanda. And as a consequence, it can absorb any kind of thrust from spears, lances and so on. And it can be used in conjunction with katars, but unlike khandes and say sarois, which will require the katar to assist in his moving around because of their weightiness, this is light enough to be wielded by itself in a very powerful way, and then you integrate this with the katar as a thrust and so on. Now, we don't put the sword in front and isolate it from the katar and utilize it. We actually bring the sword and the katar together, so I can use the katar and the sword simultaneously. So if I'm going for this and I'm giving this as a bait, I can then thrust and so on. So the movement is this way there. So if you would go back, and I'll show you a bit of footwork here. So my cameraman has to drop a level and so on. So here I am. So when I engage with sword, it always points forward as a threat. So I'm thrusting, cutting, there, move across, there, bang. So I can use this to go up, move across this, move there. So again, the cut and thrust are integrated. When we cut or thrust, we're always doing with the whole body. Thus we're constantly repositioning, and the opponent has to constantly adjust and reorientate himself in order to engage us. And this is what gives us the advantage, and we cut him down. So hence, this here, this wonderful dream of a sword is called the Kardik. So this is the Kardik itself. Okay, powerful. One of the most in the Punjab is this sword is a legend. Namaste.